This narcissist feared you seeing them as the fool they are. And I promise you, right, chosen ones, empaths, and genuine souls, I promise you that you will get to that place. Like, even if you're in the midst of confusion right now, you will get to the place when you see them as a fool. All right, what I need you to do is embrace what you have seen. The narcissist fundamentally feared you ever seeing beneath the veil, having this veil lifted. In other words, having this veil lifted from your eyes, this clouded judgment. They always anticipated it happening. It ran like a recurring theme in their minds day and night. They were on high alert, not because they felt guilty. All right, try and empathize with the narcissist, right? To the best of your ability. If you were doing wrong day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out to someone, you would feel guilty. Okay? You'd feel bad. You'd feel bad for what you're doing. Instead, the narcissist was struggling to maintain this effort to keep you deceived. They could feel it slipping. There was many times you were onto them. They were caught like a deer in the headlights. You were onto them, but you didn't see it through because it just was not willed that way. Maybe by God, the universe, it was just not happening at that time. But they realized you were that they were scared and feared you waking up, and they thought, you know what? Every time they were able to ease you or blame shift or deflect blame or whatever, and you didn't see through them until this very day. And this is why you're in the pain that you're in, or you was in the pain that you're in. You might be further forward now, and you're at that place that I'm talking about of seeing them as the fool they are. These narcissists are foolish individuals, right? And they can bully you. They can make you be scared. They can blackmail you. They can do all sorts of twisted, wicked things to try and stay enmeshed in your life. Okay, they can try all sorts of wicked, twisted things to stay enmeshed in your life. This is what they're like. But I need you to understand that the veil has been lifted. This is a gift. Wherever you're saying this gift is from, it's good to be gracious and grateful towards this gift that you've received of seeing clearly. All right, I know this seeing clearly and the veil lifting is almost like looking at a bright sun first thing in the morning, or a bright light first thing in the morning. It's hard to what's another example that I can say if anyone's listening that's visually impaired? You know, having like a shock to your system, a shock to your system. In other words, it's shocking, for someone with the bright sunlight or whatever. So something that shocks your system. This is what it's like when you first wake up and you're in confusion. When the veil's been lifted, you're confused. But for those of you that are seeing them as fools now, put it in the comments section if you can. Give insight to those that maybe aren't there yet. It will give inspiration to them. But they really, really feared this. In the days when you were in their life, this is why I always say they were walking on eggshells around you day in and day out. They were putting on a performance, pretending to be attuned with you, mirroring you, pretending to be on your level, pretending that they have the same ethics and morals, when really this was your worst enemy. This was someone that was covertly doing these things. All right, and then even when they would see, this is not just romantic relationships. You see, this can happen friendships. This can be bosses. This can be all sorts of relationships in life. And the thing is a lot of them can be family members or whatever, and a lot of them use bullying and scare tactics and all sorts of types of manipulation to keep you asleep. All right, but it's failed. You see them now, and I promise you, you just see them as foolish. You realize that they it was unnecessary for them to act in that way. And believe you me, they have the comprehension now. Give them a little time afterwards, after you've gone your own way, you've seen through them, maybe you've confronted them, maybe you've just gone away quietly. Maybe the thing is they can often be very scared of you. Okay, they can often be very scared of you. Not that you're gonna hurt them or you're gonna lash out. They're concerned that you're gonna expose them. So they often will vanish or ghost or do these things because you picked up on something. All of you collectively, I guarantee you, if you were discarded or something like this or whatever, there was something on a given day that you saw through them. All right, and that was the veil being lifted. That was the veil being lifted from your eyes. So I promise you, without a shadow of a doubt, you will see this individual as a fool. I don't care if it was your best friend. I don't care if you were married, boyfriend, girlfriend, family member. You will see them for what they are. You will wake up and you will see them as the fool they are, and how they were so foolish to not see the qualities within you. Alright? And to them to think that all of their trickery, manipulation, negative behavior, bullying, trying to control you was all unnecessary. And you like to be good towards people. Alright, you're all gonna collectively get there without a shadow of a doubt, I assure you. Alright? And what I would suggest is, alright, don't let your mind consume you after these encounters with narcissists, whether they're negative energy, negative forces, dark forces, the devil, whatever. Don't let your mind become ill or sick from the experience you've had with others. Now I know you might be saying, hey Zara, like you're in a bad place right now and stuff like that, and I promise you, that's why I said you're going to get to the place of clarity. You're going to get to the place where you look at them like a fool. But I don't want you to make your mind sick in the process. Alright, be conscious that they've planted a lot of doubt in your minds. Okay, and this is going to come from a more spiritual sense, which I tap into more on the spiritual channel. But it's not spiritual, it's just it's you as a genuine soul, right? Your heart. Think with your heart in these moments of despair. Think with your heart in these moments of confusion. Look upon the situation, the way you are treated. If your mind's telling you something like you're faced with a difficulty, someone's treating you badly, someone's done something to you, someone's done this, think with your heart. You know what's wrong and right. These individuals don't think with their heart. These individuals you encounter, they don't think with their heart. Alright? They don't have hearts. Okay? And that's what I think this whole thing's about. Alright? Their heart, their soul, their mind, everything's corrupted. Alright? But I'm saying that when you've gone through difficulties, trauma, abuse, these sorts of things from the hands of narcissists, it can scar your mind. So your own mind becomes your enemy. And that's why I'm telling you, be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Alright? I know you look for companionship, you look for someone to confide in, you look for this, and sometimes you've got some people, could be a family member, could be a friend, you've got some people that you can confide in and they're real, but also be kind to yourself. Okay? Also be kind to yourself, because in those situations, if you do have true people around you, those true people are just being kind and decent to you. And they're people that also think with their heart. You see, they're helping you through your difficulties. So what I'm saying is they're easing your mind through the confusion, and they're giving you advice or whatever. Okay? Um like I always say, I set off on this journey to help one person, and um I'm grateful for all of your support and things like that. I appreciate that you understand, or you can take something from this. That's all I set out to do, and I'm gonna stick by that principle that I just aim to help one person. Okay? So that's why I talk to you like I'm talking to you, as if, I know I'm talking to a group, but or a collective of chosen ones, empaths and genuine souls, but I try to talk to you directly. And what I'm saying is sort through the mental realms, alright, and try and start thinking with your heart during these midst of confusions. You can assess the situation with your heart, and this is where you get the intuition from, and the discernment, it's from the heart. You get this intuition and discernment from the heart, and this is something to focus on. All right, this is what the narcissist fundamentally feared. You reaching this point of awakening, because that is what's actually happening. You're detaching from that game they had you, that web they had you spun in, or that game they had you in, where they were confusing your mind, and you've broken free. And it can be extremely painful when you first awaken, when you first break free, regardless. Even if you were the one that discarded or ghosted, you've broken free. Like, it can be extremely painful even if you cut them off. Like, it can be extremely painful because this was someone you cared about, or someone who was important in your life, and you've had to cut them off or sever ties with them, right? So in all these situations, it can be difficult. It's not just about the person who's discarded. It can be even the person when you've cut the narcissist off. It's not something you wanted to do. But I'm saying this is the awakening. Please realize that you're going to get to a place, and even beyond that, even beyond when I said in the earlier segment about you're going to see them as a fool, you're going to get beyond that. Think of your heart, all right? You can assess the situation. These things make you feel upset. These things make you feel annoyed, frustrated. You're thinking with your heart. Don't get confused with the brain, and let it, make you think that you're the bad person. You're because this is what will start to happen, all right? So try and assess the situation from a bird's eye view, or your heart. Look upon the situation. You can see that you are the one in the right. These people are no good. They're rotten, and it's a blessing that they're actually out of your lives now. So, I've just realized I haven't touched on absence, right? I'll just touch it. See, you haven't. The absence, okay? Initially, the narcissist, when they saw you awakening, they thought they could handle the absence. That's why they run. That's why they ghost. That's why they abandon. That's why they become so toxic. You cut them off. That's why they do reverse discard. That's why they do all this stuff, right? But they can't handle your absence when they're out of your life. And what I'm saying is, you go on such a progression. It's not all peaches and cream. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. I strongly advise you that it's not that. But you go on a transitional growth period, evolving, okay, and you'll reach this place of clarity. All right. But you become very distant. You're going to become very strong, where you won't let them back in, where you don't want to reconcile. You're in a whole new level, and that's what's ahead of you. So I've only briefly touched on the absence in this video. I do apologize, but you know, check out some of the other videos. You know, they do struggle with your absence. All right, they do struggle with your absence. But just understand what I was meant to get at this video earlier on is how they thought they could handle it. You see, they thought they could handle it. Like, they feared your awakening so much that they would withstand your absence, and they thought they could handle it. They thought a new supply, new, group or whoever, like, they thought other things could distract them from the absence, and the absence is crushing for them. All right. So while you have your quiet times, while you're alone, think about the realistic point of view. Like, judging by your situation, what would a best friend say? And even better than a best friend, because some best friends are not good people, but like your own best friend, like your heart, God, universe, like, what advice would you be given? I know you're not going to be able to come to an actual proper conclusion, but you'll have a rough idea of, and it's all gauged by your heart. You can clearly see that this is a wrong situation you're in. You've got no reason to be upset. Okay, it's actually closure. There's so much closure that actually comes from this awakening. And you might be going, hey Zan, what are you talking about? But I'm saying, think about it, right? There's so much closure that comes from it. You get the finality. Like, you see someone as a disgusting parasite. And I know they tricked you, and they done trickery, and they deceived you. But if you focus on what your heart is telling you, what you feel in your heart, like what you see with your heart, all right, what you think with your heart, you know this is bad behavior, bullies, horrible people. You know what I'm saying? So you've got no reason to be upset about them. So when these relationships have come to an end, there's no reason to be upset about them or grieve them. Like I always say, it's a natural process you'll go through where you do grieve, you do go through this, but the quicker you realize that you don't need to grieve it, all right, you really don't need to grieve it. There's like, this is crucial advice, all right, and the quicker this gets to you, and I hope it sinks in, you don't need to grieve it, all right, you don't need to be phased. What you've been given is a gift, all right, and you're going to go all the way to the place when you get clarity and you view them as a fool and a disgusting parasite, and you're going to go beyond that and, rise even higher than that, like, this is just the start, all right, where you're at. I know some of you have gone further down the line, but I'm saying, when you're in that place of hurt, that is just the start, all right? When you've had this awakening and a narcissist has ghosted you or ran scared or got toxic and you've cut you off or whatever, right? This is just the start, okay? This is the start of your awakening. So trust the process. Think with your heart. I know it's confusing. Maybe even look into thinking with your heart, all right? Just try to look in about thinking with your heart, because, so I was meant to touch on, your heart can send messages to your mind. Okay, it's proven in science. Your heart can send messages to your mind. So it proves that your heart has thinking capabilities. And I know they say your heart's sourced in your mind, but that's because your heart sends messages to your brain. That's why there's a spore in your mind of your heart. You see, that's the real you. That you can see things that are not right, things that you don't deserve, things that you don't want to be treated like. It gives you boundaries. It gives you boundaries, right? And it gives you the closure that you need. You get the closure that you need because you know what they are, right? That's what's been gifted through this awakening, However you want to view this awakening, as God-given, a blessing, divine intervention, universe, whatever you want to call it, right? You've been gifted this, and it's an incredible blessing. All right, so this narcissist is very fearful of you, and the more you grow in intelligence, because in that intelligence and wisdom will come with through time, you'll learn how to deal with it, and you'll grow more and more through the process. The narcissist will become very cautious of you. You see, this is why many of you have been ghosted or abandoned in those situations. All right, and narcissists saw this awakening in you. All right, so they will withstand your absence initially, but they are going through drama and struggles and chaos without your supply, because they're feeling your absence. So anyway, thanks for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you like to. You may donate your support to the channel if you want to. Check out the main channel for more content. Check out the spiritual channel for more content. My bad. My podcast is now on Spotify. All links you need in the description box below. If you would like access to over 100 exclusive videos, daily uploads and custom video requests, join my membership program at zionmembership.com. Links also in the description box below. There's a 3-day free trial and you can cancel at any time. All content is made by me with no ties to any organization or university. Your support truly keeps us going. I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.